Why Middle East power balance suddenly feels bigger is less about the headline and more about who stands to gain from the shift. By the end, you will see what changed in why Middle East power balance suddenly feels bigger, who benefits now, and why the stakes are climbing. It sounds like a clash of ideas, but the deeper engine is leverage, incentives, and positioning. But those rules were shredded in the last 90 days. Why does this feel so much bigger and more dangerous than any crisis before? Because, for the first time, the world's superpower appears to have no winning move. By the end of this video, you'll understand the hidden strategy that changed the game, and you'll see why the old ways of projecting power are now a liability. We often assume Iran is just a rogue state acting on impulse. That is a dangerous oversimplification that leads to failure. Iran has spent 40 years building a spider's web that the U.S. cannot simply bomb away. They don't need to win a head-to-head war to achieve their goals. They only need to make the cost of staying too high for the West to pay. Every time a $2 million missile is used to stop a $20,000 drone, the math shifts. This is why Middle East power balance suddenly feels bigger, stops sounding rhetorical, and starts looking strategic. This is asymmetric leverage, and it's bankrupting the old world order. The Red Sea is the perfect example of this new reality. A group of rebels with basic technology has successfully rerouted global trade. This isn't just a military problem. It's an economic heart attack. When shipping costs triple, your groceries get more expensive. The tension you feel at the supermarket is a direct result of this power struggle. But who actually benefits when the region is on fire? Russia and China are watching closely, and they aren't neutral observers. But the key point is not the public language. It is the incentive structure underneath it. The distraction is the strategy. The U.S. is being forced to play a game of whack-a-mole with infinite moles. But there is a hidden incentive most people miss. Instability in the Middle East drives oil prices up, which funds Russia's war machine. The chaos is actually a highly profitable cycle for some players. Iran's strategy has been exposed, but knowing it doesn't make it easier to stop. If the U.S. attacks directly, it risks a total regional war and global depression. If they do nothing, their deterrence disappears forever. There is no win condition here, only the management of loss. This is why the power balance feels bigger now. There is no margin for error left. A single mistake by a drone operator could trigger a chain reaction no one can stop. And this is why Middle East power balance suddenly feels bigger, stops being a debate and starts becoming a power move with real costs. And what comes next isn't a new peace, but a permanent state of friction. Your safety and your economy are now tied to a system that is fundamentally unstable. The real question isn't whether a war will start. The question is whether we can afford to live in the world that results from it. The leverage has shifted. The costs are rising, and the margin for error is gone. If the U.S. can't win this war, who is actually in charge of the global future? That is the bigger problem we all have to face starting today. Keep watching, because the next move isn't on the battlefield. It's in your bank account. The strategy is exposed. But the consequences are just beginning. Is the world reacting to the real threat? Or just the story we've been told? Think about that the next time you see the news headlines. The Middle East isn't just a distant conflict anymore. It's home. The balance of power is a weight we all have to carry now. What matters now is who gets more leverage, if why Middle East power balance suddenly feels bigger keeps moving in this direction. Welcome to the new era of global leverage. The bigger question now is whether why Middle East power balance suddenly feels bigger keeps escalating, or runs into a serious backlash.